Her name lit up my screen at 2:14 a.m. After 71 days of silence, a simple message, "I think I'm ready to talk now." I stared at it the way you stare at a door that has already been broken once, quietly, carefully, with the kind of caution that feels like holding your breath underwater. No contact, her rule, not mine. "I just need space to figure myself out," she'd said, her voice soft, rehearsed. "No calls, no texts, don't show up. I just need to breathe." And I respected it, because respect was the only thing I had left. But then her mother forgot to hide what she was posting. Family photos, bright smiles, a beach house I'd never been invited to. And there she was, my wife, sunburned and laughing in a pool beside her high school lover. The same boy she once swore never even crossed her mind again. Yet she was leaning on him like she'd been living in that moment forever. Still, I stayed silent. Not out of love, no, that died somewhere between her second mojito and his hand on her waist. I stayed silent because silence carves truth sharper than any confrontation. I shipped her belongings to her parents' home one box at a time. Changed my relationship status to single, with the same calm I used to lock our door each night. Now she wanted to talk. I let the message sit there, glowing in the dark. A ghost finally knocking. The day she asked for space, she couldn't meet my eyes. That was my first alarm. She'd always been strong, direct to the point of cruelty. But that day she spoke like someone praying I wouldn't ask the wrong question. "I just need time to understand who I am," she whispered, looking past me, toward the window. "I'm confused." Confused. The word felt borrowed, stolen from the script of someone who had already made up their mind. Still, I nodded. Still, I stepped back. Still, I watched her leave the house with the slow steps of someone walking out of a life she'd already replaced. The first week, I blamed myself. The second, I told myself she'd come back. The third, I realized she wasn't coming back at all, not to me. The fourth, her mother posted those photos. That's when the ground shifted. Not because she lied, people lie all the time, but because she wanted the moral high ground while she did it. No contact, she'd demanded, as if she needed protection from me. Meanwhile, she was wrapped in her ex-lover's arms in Cabo, drinking margaritas and posing with his family like she'd been preparing for the role for years. I didn't confront her, didn't block her, didn't rage. I just breathed, watched, listened. People reveal everything when they think you're gone. And she talked freely in those photos, body language louder than any confession. I wasn't losing a wife, I was shedding a lie. While she figured herself out, I figured out the truth. Quietly, methodically. I had her mail forwarded to the house. She'd forgotten to stop it. I didn't open anything. I didn't need to. The sender names told enough of a story. Hotel points, reservation confirmations, charges from restaurants with linen tablecloths and candlelight. A life being lived loudly somewhere else. Her phone plan was still under my name. I didn't spy, I didn't track, but the itemized statement? Times, towers, locations, they tell their own story without exposing a word. Patterns formed. 2 phones in proximity every night after 11:30 p.m. Movement between his address and his workplace. A 3-day gap where both phones went dark at the same resort that appeared in the photos. My hands never shook, not once. Instead, I started collecting small truths the way surgeons collect instruments before the first incision. Clean, precise, necessary. I cleaned the house, vacuumed, packed her things into boxes, labeled them with dates and calm handwriting. I left her wedding ring on top of her sweaters, resting like a cold apology. Then I updated the utilities, my insurance, my will. Not out of spite, out of clarity. When I finally walked into the DMV and requested the marital status update, the clerk asked if I was sure. Yes, I was sure. That night, her mother posted a final photo, a bonfire, her head on his shoulder, his arm around her waist. The caption read, "Family time before the next chapter begins." That was when I knew she'd call eventually. Not because she missed me, but because she'd realize what she'd stepped into. People always confuse desire with permanence. When her message arrived, "I think I'm ready to talk now," I didn't respond. Instead, I opened the folder I had prepared weeks earlier. Timelines, receipts, screenshots, pictures her family posted before they thought to hide them. Not to use as ammunition, but as clarity. I drafted one message. "Everything you left behind has been returned to your parents. Your journey is yours. I've stepped out of it." Then I attached the final photo, the one her mother accidentally posted, showing her sitting on her ex-lover's lap, drinking from his glass, wearing the necklace I bought her on our 3rd anniversary. I didn't add a caption. Truth doesn't need commentary. When she called, her voice cracked on the second word. Why would you think? It's not what—" I let her speak. Watched the panic bloom, slow and pathetic. Then, when she finally asked, "Can we talk in person?" I said nothing. Silence is a verdict. She arrived at the house anyway. The doorbell rang once, twice, 3 times. I opened the door just enough for her to see the empty rooms behind me. The walls echoed. The life we built had already been dismantled without a sound. "Why did you move everything?" she whispered. "You asked for space," I said. "I gave you a life without me." "I made mistakes," she breathed. "I wasn't myself." "You were exactly yourself," I replied. "You just assumed I'd still be here when you were done." Her eyes flicked toward the bedroom, bare. The closet, empty. The living room, vacant. "You changed your relationship status?" she choked. "Yes." "You didn't even wait for me." "I wasn't supposed to contact you," I said calmly. "Your rule." Her lip trembled. Then she saw the envelope on the kitchen counter, her name written in my handwriting. Inside, a printed copy of every photo, every timeline, every reservation. Not to shame her. To prove I wasn't confused. She sank onto the floor like someone who had discovered gravity for the first time. "Please," she whispered, "we can fix this." "I already did," I said, and closed the door. The house was quiet again. Not empty, clear. I sat on the floor where our couch used to be and listened to the silence. It didn't hurt. It didn't echo. It just existed. Honest, unbroken. People think betrayal is fire, but it's not. It's water, cold, slow, patient. And by the time you feel it drowning you, it's already reshaped the shoreline. She thought she was holding the power by leaving. She thought I'd wait, hope, break. But I didn't. I simply watched her reveal the person she had always been when she thought I wasn't looking. The final truth was simple. I didn't lose her. I let her go. And the last line of the life we shared closed itself like a door without a sound. Some people don't deserve to be confronted. They deserve to be forgotten.